Moving on in the meantime, though, after failed negotiations between the budget airline Bonza and its aircraft lenders, the decision has been made for those planes to head back overseas. Let's bring in now the aviation writer at the Australian newspaper, Robin Ironside, who's been covering this story this week. Robin, it sounds like it's the end of the line for Bonza.
It certainly does, Ash. You wonder how an airline can operate without any aircraft, and that is the situation here. The 4 aircraft that were leased to Bonza, they've been taken out of Bonza's name. They're now registered to a Jeremy Delore, who specialises in transferring aircraft between operators. So we can only expect that the aircraft currently parked at Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast and Melbourne airports will be taken out of the country in coming days.
And so what does that mean for passengers who have been impacted, Robin? Are they going to be getting refunds for the tickets they've already bought?
It's not looking terribly good on that front, Ash. They'll probably find out more at a creditors meeting this Friday, where administrators will speak directly to the creditors, among them customers, employees, as well as companies that are owed money by Bonza. Creditors are expected to face a barrage of questions because there hasn't been a lot of information released, and they will explain to customers what the deal is from here. To date, they've been told that there are no refunds. Employees, similarly, have been told they won't be paid for the month of April. So it doesn't look like that they've got a lot of money to be splashing around.
Yeah, and in terms of the staff, the employee concerns, how many jobs does it look like could be lost?
Well, there's 323 employees at Bonza. Currently, 302 of those are stood down without pay. The remainder, we can only assume, are continuing to work, even though they're probably not getting paid. So it's a lot of people. A lot of them are based on the Sunshine Coast. There are also some on the Gold Coast and in Melbourne. And to learn only a couple of days before payday that you're not getting paid for the previous month must have come as just a shocking blow.
Yeah, tough times for a lot of those people, unfortunately. Robin, I did want to ask you also about the headlines we saw involving Qantas a bit earlier this week. We've heard a lot, of course, about the so-called ghost flights fiasco. The ACCC weighed in on this. How have things landed, do you think, for Qantas? Has the airline managed to emerge okay from that saga?
Well, I think it was probably the best thing that Vanessa Hudson could do in the situation. She was keen to get it behind her so the headlines about ghost flights would finally stop. And it was probably a smart move on that front. She also ended up with probably a lesser penalty than she may have got if they had continued to fight it in court, and also accrued a lot of legal bills along the way. So the $120 million penalty, it sounds like a lot, but the ACCC said they gave them a discount because that they were prepared to admit that they had done the wrong thing, and they have made amends to a certain extent. They've now promised to let customers know within 48 hours if they have in fact cancelled their flight.
Good to know, Robin Ironside. Thanks for your analysis.